As an entrepreneur, you've probably already heard of all these big productivity YouTubers telling you to just change your environment or use the Pomodoro technique to just magically focus for hours at a time. But every single time you take their advice, nothing changes. You stay in the same cycle of distractions and your business doesn't grow, you don't sign any more clients, and so you look for other solutions. You keep on watching other productivity YouTubers trying to find this one solution, but nothing changes. The reason why this doesn't work for you is because it only works for a select amount of people. Not everyone can become super productive by just using the Pomodoro technique, because most entrepreneurs, especially as my younger self, we have these deep-rooted problems that cause us to be unproductive, and if you don't solve these, you will never focus, you will never actually grow your business. You see, every single time I went to work on my business, I would get this huge wave of motivation, but then 5 minutes would go by and then I'll just be on YouTube, I'd be on my phone, I would just be constantly distracted and not working on the task I'm meant to be doing. And after hours of just constantly scrolling on my phone, I start to feel this immense guilt because I didn't work hard. You know, I got this entire to-do list to do for the entire day and not one task got done. And as a result of this, my business, I was doing copywriting at the time, which is kind of like this weird business model. You're probably familiar with it. But I was doing this business model, and every single day I would not land any clients. I would do, 5 outreaches a day, which if you know what outreach is, you know that's barely anything. And then the months would go by, I'll keep on seeing these beginners that started a week ago would land all these clients while I didn't land any, and it was simply because of this one productivity problem. And if I solved this sooner, I would have seen way more success and would have landed so many more clients in a short space of time. You see, Roger Caillois, who was a French psychological anthropist, that's a mouthful to speak. Basically, this guy came up with an idea that work would be split into 4 sections, and trust me, if you can just give me a couple of minutes, you'll really understand why you're not productive in a day. These 4 work types are Agon, Alia, Mimicry, and Vertigo. But for this video, I'm going to specifically go into Agon because that's what business is. You see, the definition of an Agon activity is something based off of competition. And if we think to business, it is basically a competition because we're competing with other businesses, we're competing with like competitors in our niche, our market, right? Like for example, if your competitor works a day or a week and you don't, you're probably losing. You're probably losing the competition to this guy and he's probably making more money than you. And this leads me on to the reason why 99% of entrepreneurs are actually super unproductive. It's simply because 99% of entrepreneurs don't actually focus on the task, they don't actually focus on the business. Instead, they focus on the intrinsic goals like money, making money, beating their competition. And when you do this, you're basically generating so many thoughts when you're trying to work that cause you to not get into a flow state, so you don't actually work hard, and instead your mind is flooded with thoughts like, how can I beat my competition? How can I make money right now? It's not thinking about the long term, and instead your brain focuses on trying to fulfill these extrinsic goals that you set about yourself. And if you've watched my videos before and you know anything about a flow state, you know that you need to kind of have a genuine fulfillment or enjoyment associated with the work you're doing. Like for example, if you're working on your business and you just hate it, it's so dull, you won't work hard. You will have this intense procrastination inside your mind and you will not sit down at your desk and focus. But compared to the other person that actually finds their work fulfilling or they actually enjoy working on their business, they can work for 12 hours every single day with no problem. They don't need any productivity hack, right? And when you associate the work you're doing, your business, with the Agon activities, then you're basically cutting that out. You don't actually find the work fulfilling. This was a problem that I faced so long in my previous business, where every single day I would have the task of outreaching for my business. I'd have to go on Instagram and look for these fitness coaches, right? And try to actually sell them. But in this time, all I would do was load up YouTube and look at these outreach scripts. I tried to find the quick fixes, these quick solutions to my problem, when really the problem I faced wasn't actually to do with any of these business problems. It was my perception of the work and how I thought about it that caused me to not get into a flow state. So if you're an entrepreneur who wants to get into a flow state for 10 to 12 hours every single day so you can blow up your business and really just skyrocket your productivity, click the first link in the description to join my free community. Because let's just think of 2 people for a second. Let's think of person A. Person A has the goal of working for 12 hours on his business every single day. But as soon as he wakes up, he looks at his to-do list on his Notion page or in his, journal, and then he has this huge wave of motivation to actually work. But as soon as he sits down, he starts to think about, why am I not making money in my business? Why am I not progressing? Why is every single person in this business model making money but not me? So he starts to panic, so he starts to overthink, and all these thoughts cause him to go on YouTube looking for these solutions to the problems that don't even exist. Compared to the other person who instead is the opposite. Instead of focusing on these extrinsic goals like money, like beating the competition, instead he focuses on the activity. He focuses on recording the videos for his business. He focuses on outreaching and doing lots of it every single single day. And the byproduct of this is he actually makes money online. He doesn't, waste time every single day, and he actually sees great progress. All because he didn't actually focus on the money, instead he focused on actually making sure you could enjoy the work. And the way you enjoy the work and actually get into a flow state and access the flow channel is by making the work super stimulating compared to every single thing in your life, by actually enjoying the work you're doing, by actually finding it fulfilling to you. Hopefully by now you understand that in every single scenario, person B is always going to come out on top. So instead of focusing on the extrinsic goals like making money or beating your competition, instead you should focus on actually enjoying the work you're doing. So an actionable step I want you to do is literally just grab a journal or any media you can write down something, and I want you to write down every single belief you hold about your business, about making money. I want you to be super honest with yourself, because right now you probably put money on a pedestal. You say to yourself, I don't really care about this business, I just want to make money, right? This is probably you. And once you write down all these beliefs, I want you to constantly remind yourself throughout the entire day, every single day for the next few months, I want you to remind yourself that the work is actually fun. The work is important to you, and you should actually focus on activity, not all these extrinsic goals, right? And the reason why I say this is because the work is actually fun. It is exciting to your competitors, because what's happening right now is your business competitors in the market are focusing on a task, they're focusing on activity that is actually fun to them, while you're focusing on them instead of the activity you're meant to be doing. And that allows your competitors to achieve peak productivity because they actually have a genuine fulfillment and enjoyment from the work, and they don't have to use all these fancy productivity hacks. Instead they can just get to work straight away. I know this was a bit of a different video compared to my other ones where I give you like tons of actionable steps, but this is a problem 99% of entrepreneurs are actually facing, and if they solve this, they can work for 16 hours a day with no problem. And like I said at the start of the video, if you're an entrepreneur who wants to get into a flow state for 10 to 12 hours every single day so you can blow up your business and actually work 10 times harder than you're currently doing, click the first link in the description to all the pinned comments to join my free community. Okay, so make sure you do this actionable step. Goodbye, have a good nice day. You're gonna have an interface again. Goodbye.